Welcome, everybody, to the Sunday Night Talk. It is Conference Championship weekend. I am your host, Patrick Ramirez. With me is my co-host, Omar Carmona. We're going to talk about the games. We got some fun trivia. We're going to talk about predictions and also what our hopes and dreams are for the Super Bowl, because we now have a Super Bowl matchup. Can't wait. Little ways to go before the big game, but we got a lot to break down this weekend. Hey, I want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. Put up a new stand-up comedy video up on my channel this week. The long-form version is up, and also it's cut up into little shorts versions too, if that's how you like to check out your YouTube comment. It's all there. Give it a like, give it a comment if you like. Every single view counts. That's what we're here for. So, on to the Sunday Night Talk. I am here. Omar is here. We got a lot to discuss, a lot to break down. We got a Super Bowl matchup, but how did we get there? That's why we're going to talk about these games. We got weather in one. We got a great offensive explosion in the late game. Two teams moving on, two teams are out. It's very emotional. Let's get on to the Sunday Night Talk. Here we go. Welcome to it. Welcome back, everybody. It's 9:07 Central Time recording this. We just finished Rams Seahawks. We have a Super Bowl. Omar Carmona is with me. It is the Sunday Night Talk Conference Championship Edition. Wow, what a Sunday of games. We had weather. We had offensive firepower. Omar, I'm still catching my breath a little bit from this weekend. I told you last week I love the games. I get sad when these teams are the losers of these games because their season is over. I think we got the right Super Bowl overall, but I just want to start out with my opening question for you. Which game did you like the most today?
Which game did I like the most today? I like the rough and tough first AFC game. Both games were very good. Obviously, one more of a shootout, one more of a defensive struggle in the weather. I like the old AFC slugfest.
Yeah, great early game. Slugfest versus offensive firepower in the afternoon was a great fire and ice type of offering that the NFL had for us today. I thought it was really fun. I loved all these teams. All four of the teams I really liked. We'll go over the storylines going into the games, but just a great conference weekend. I thought nothing really to sour us at the end of it. No penalties where we're like, why did they call that? No injury to really throw off the game, except we had, Denver, of course, but we knew that leading in. Nothing out of the ordinary to really sour. It's just great football. So headlines for the day. New England and Seattle is our Super Bowl. New England did it with defense and the weather, and Seattle shows more firepower on offense when they needed it. Mike Vrabel is validated and Sam Darnold passes his biggest test. Would you agree with those headlines?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's start off just going into the games. Just going into, let's say, the AFC game. The major storyline was this Bo Nix injury. He wasn't going to play. There was a lot of video going around during the week of when he broke the ankle and how he was wincing. Was he not wincing? His interview, I found it a little more unusual than most people. I halfway thought he was still going to play. It was going to be a Sean Payton switcheroo on game day. And then it sort of turned into about Tuesday or Wednesday, it turned into a full-on campaign for Jarrett Stidham. Like, he is a good quarterback. He's been in the system. He was Tom Brady's backup. And I almost felt like, this is a little too much Stidham talk. I'm not buying in. So we go into the AFC game. So what was your prediction going into the AFC New England at Denver game? Did you see it going down the way it did?
No, I didn't. But, here's the thing. Stidham has the ball with about 3 minutes left in the game. You know what I mean? That's exactly the position he wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, say, like, once we get into the game, like, Denver had an opportunity. They had the ball on offense. That game really turned into a game for about 2 quarters. Once the weather rolled in, it turned into a totally different type of football. It was It was very different of a game, and it happened quick. 10-7 is the final score, which I think is somewhat misleading because this game I actually felt had a lot of action to it. So I got some headlines from this game. New England wins 10-7 on the road. Conditions shaped the game. Drake May's legs, Stidham's 2 mistakes, missed field goals, and a 4th and 1 early, I felt really made the difference. And then just 2 quick questions. Did anybody predict this weather going into the game? I didn't hear any talk of weather affecting this game. And then just last question, why the heck did Tennessee fire Mike Vrabel in the first place 2 years ago?
Right.
What was that? It took him 2 years later. He's in the Super Bowl. So let's start with the first headline. Conditions. What did you notice when those snowy conditions started to roll in?
Yeah, no, just that it was going to be, it was definitely going to be come down to defense. Is going to come down to that crucial turnover.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for Stidham, he had a couple turnovers that I'm sure he'd love to have back. You know, that ball that got away at the end, that was underthrown. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and he paid dearly for it.
I couldn't tell what exactly was the mistake on it, whether it was a purely poor throw, whether it was wind, although I think they stated they had the wind at their backs in that fourth quarter. But like you said, it was just off, whether it was a miscommunication. Overall, I thought Stidham was completely fine in this game. The horrible fumble lateral play oddly becomes the decider in this game, because if it's not for that, then New England doesn't even score a touchdown. Right. And we're having an entirely different conversation right now of like what happened to England's offense. They didn't bring any offense. And you know what? We should have seen this coming. They haven't had any offense all playoffs. So that's the big one. A couple missed field goals, although under replay, one of them was tipped by New England. So I don't know if it's purely on the kicker, but 2 missed field goals. New England had a missed field goal as well. What stood out to you on the New England side?
Great defense. They're a tough team, Patrick, and something, you know, what stood out the most to me is for some reason when I see this team play behind a young Drake May, I see that 2001 Patriots rally behind a young Tom Brady. You know, that team did not blow you away with their offense, right? But it just seemed like everybody contributed just the right amount, you know, just to be a great unit. And then they rode that tough defense, you know, to Super Bowl history. And so I'm seeing a lot of parallels there, Pat.
Yeah, I see it. I think we have to remember back in that 1999 season that Tom Brady was looked at very much a game manager. He wasn't Superman like he ended up being at the end in his career. So we didn't really feel like they were like this offensive juggernaut until the second Super Bowl run, really. So I see it. I think Drake May, although his stats don't show it, the running with the legs for those first downs was the difference of the game. Like if he put up anything offensively, it was the runs with his legs when they needed it. That was the most effective. Like this offense was not impressive today, but I do think you have to judge it on 2 quarters of play, because once it got snowy, they went into turtle mode and they just kind of ran the ball every play, and they're like, forget it. We'll just punt it. We can stop you. We're not going to risk it. I think Tony Romo said it. They're like, they ran a play to throw it away. They're going to punt it. They're just going to try for that. So this is a really weird game to try and break down, I feel, because the snow was huge. They couldn't do, nobody was doing anything. They were sliding all over the place. There was one play where the New England running back slipped, and then Drake May had to run the ball, and then he slipped. There was no footing at all. So I think it's going to be hard to figure out what exactly this New England offense is. But just look at New England. Not a lot of offense against Houston the week before. The week before that, against the Chargers, they were decent. So I would say the early line in this game is New England's going to be an underdog by 4 or 5 points, Do you feel New England is a big underdog in this game? Super
They
Bowl?
shouldn't. No, no, no. I'm telling you, Pat. Again, I'm seeing some parallels, and I'm getting a feeling about New England winning this game.
You think they'll be rated as the underdog though?
You're going to be the underdog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing though. If I was to say, all right, Drake May didn't have a good game, 3 games in a row, not a lot of offense. I can't bet for these guys. But then again, they seem to find a way. Third game in a row, they find a way to win. Whether it's a Drake May running for a first down on the sideline, whether it's taking advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself, they find a way to win, and they're going to do it again next week, in 2 weeks, I mean. So
Right.
I'm with you and not just flippantly saying, like, did you see that Seattle defense today against the Rams? There's no way. So I'm not ready to say, yeah, Drake May is going to have a horrible game. The New England Patriots can't compete. All right, let's flip it to what I think was the biggest turning point in this game. The Stidham lateral fumble, incomplete pass play that sets the Patriots up inside the 10, I think.
Right.
It is Stidham. It's a third down. New England shows blitz. Stidham changes the play and then makes this bad decision to retreat back. He pumps the ball once like he could throw it away. He doesn't take the sack. He does like this, this forward push. The refs call it an incomplete pass. Patriots pick it up. They review it and they say, oh, wait, it was a lateral. I don't know if I never saw an angle that really showed that, but it was definitely a desperation heave. Did you see the lateral in that play?
Yes.
You could
That-
see it.
No, I really couldn't.
I couldn't either. I don't feel like we ever had an angle, but I believed it because of just the awkwardness
Right.
of how we let that go. And that leads to the touchdown. All right, let's go back maybe about 15 minutes earlier in this game. Denver's got the ball. They are at 4th and 1 on the 10-yard line. They're up 7. They decide to go for it. They don't get it. And I've said this, I don't know, all year. So many coaches go for it way too early in the games when they should have taken the points. And if you had a backup quarterback in there, you started out great, take the points, extend the game. New England hadn't figured out Stidham at that point. And guess what? You guys lost by 3. Once that happened, I feel like Denver almost signed their death certificate at that point. Were you with me on that they should have kicked it, or did you like them going for it on 4th down?
It's aggressive. I mean, but that's just
Too
I think that's-
aggressive.
I think it's a little too aggressive. I probably would have kicked it. But, it just feels like so many coaches are second guess. Maybe they just feel like they have to go for it every single time. And I think we've talked about that on the show before.
That's what I don't get. I don't know why they feel like they have to go for it. It's like if they kick it, they feel like it's a failure. And in a game where you had your backup quarterback in there, you're already up 7-0, take the points. I didn't understand it one bit, and it made the difference. They lost by 3. If the majority of that third quarter is they're tied, I totally feel the play calling would be different. New England is different. New England is probably pressing on offense way more than they were. I feel like all we did was crown Sean Payton all week long. Like, oh, he can work with quarterbacks. He's got the system. He's so advanced. Well, guess what? You blew it, Sean Payton, with that play call. I didn't like it from the start.
No. Yeah.
And I think we need to have more. I think more criticism is going to come out during the week about that going for it on 4th and 1. That being said, how about that opening drive by Stidham?
Wow. I mean, that throw. I think it was their second drive.
Yeah, you're right. I think they punted, the New England punted, and then they got the ball back. Yeah.
Okay. So it was fantastic, Pat. I mean, it was that throw just, and it was like, it was such a slow start, but right away, I mean, it felt like he caught fire, and then he scored so easily, a few plays later. But that was all the offense.
Right.
Now again, look, this isn't on Stidham. Would a Bo Nix have made a difference? Maybe. We're not, it's pointless to ask. We're never
Yeah,
going to know.
couch that because we're going to come
Yeah.
to that.
I don't think we're ever going to know. But here's the thing. If this is the backup quarterback, if you're Sean Payton and you were to be told before the game, you have a backup quarterback that hasn't thrown a pass for what, 2 years, in the NFL,
Yeah.
and you know what? And with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left, he's gonna have the ball with a chance to win the game. You know what? You're thinking to yourself, well, it beats being down 41-6,
Hmm.
3 minutes left, And
Yeah.
so you're gonna take that. You're gonna take that. I mean, you'd be foolish to think that this is gonna be like a Bo Nix, I mean, I'm sorry, a Stidham, shootout, where he's firing 5 touchdown passes, no one.
Yeah.
No. So look, he gave him a chance. Now, though there were some costly turnovers, but at the end of the day, he gave the franchise a chance to win the game.
I agree. They had a possession at the end of the game, but I don't think that getting any points in that second half on that field was like any normal drive. I did not see them marching down the field because they hadn't done it all half. The ball itself he throws, of course, is bad. And you could say a dozen things. He didn't have the reps. The defense is coming at you faster in the game versus all these practices. I can't put this solely on Stidham, not that ball. The fumble lateral, I probably can. Because if I'm Sean Payton, I'm like, it's third down, it's critical, he's changing the plays, timeout. Let's take a timeout before we do something dumb. Or like, it's third down, hey, you're going into the huddle, Stidham. It's third down. If you get in trouble, just take the sack. Just fall down. Throw the ball in the dirt. Don't try and do something crazy. And he did something crazy and they got the ball. So let's talk about this now. Let's just go parallel universe. If Bo Nix is in this game, does Denver win this game?
No, no, Patrick, let's not do that. I mean, let's not do that. The bottom line is he wasn't in the game, and the reason I say that is I don't want to take away with what the Patriots did. I mean, these guys do not lose on the road, Pat. These guys do not lose on the road, and that to me, just the fact they go into the elements, just beat everyone when they travel. I think it's going to bode well for them, and I like them in a tough game against Seattle. I don't think we're going to see a shootout. Um, I think it's going to be a tough play game. So I don't know if I know Denver fans want Bo Nix, would have loved to have Bo Nix, and if I'm a betting man, I'd want to put my money on, I'd much rather put my money on a Bo Nix team, but that wasn't the case. Broncos off to Cabo.
Okay, great non-answer there, Omar. Thank you. I'll answer because I have the balls to answer these questions. If Bo Nix is in there, I do not think they necessarily win this game. Conditions were so hard, and I don't know if we've seen the Bo Nix offensive explosion anyway. And giving the Patriots D a lot of credit, yeah, I think the Patriots D was up for the challenge, whether it was Bo Nix or Stidham. And Stidham was pretty awesome for one drive, so I'll give him that. But I think the conditions were so hard offensively today that I don't think Bo Nix does a heck of a lot more than Stidham. If you just get it down to the granular, like does Bo Nix commit that turnover that Stidham does? I'd say, yeah, it's possible. Bo Nix has had some dumb turnovers all year. It's possible. So I'm not willing to say, yeah, Bo Nix leads this team, they win. No, I'm not 100% on that one. So it was an interesting game, and it went into just a defensive battle. And I think New England got really conservative, but it worked out for them. They knew they could stop them on D. They really did. And it was a bunch of missed field goals. Those field goals at the end of the half were wacky. The Denver guy misses one. The New England misses one. Denver guy misses one in the third quarter with a weird like golf hook shot. So if I'm Denver, I think I'm mad at Sean Payton tonight. I'm a little mad at the play calling and decision making in the first half. And maybe the weatherman too. You should have told us the snow was coming in. And then, all right, maybe we'll save it for predictions, but I have some thoughts on on Drake May. Oh, no, I have some thoughts on the Patriots D going into this Super Bowl. We'll do that in predictions, though. All right, so New England wins 10-7. Now we go to the late game. And I got to say, it was a little refreshing to go from the snowy Denver field, and then they show Seattle, and it's just green grass, clear skies. I was like, okay, good. Another type of football game. I like this. So what was your hopes and dreams, your thoughts going into the Seattle LA Rams game? Did you have a feeling of what direction this game might be going? You're muted.
My mistake.
There you go.
I don't know, Pat. I thought it was gonna be. I think I texted you my thoughts on the game. I think I did have Seattle winning, but I think I had them winning a lot. More comfort. But Matt Stafford kept them at the game. It's just Seattle made the stops when they had to. That's what it really felt like. That anytime the Rams could have built that momentum to finally just go over the top, Seattle made the big play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I mean, the Rams had the golden opportunity, and they didn't convert it. We can dissect that when we get to it. A little bit of if they should have maybe kicked it, if would have had time for one more possession. Maybe not. Their offense was good, so I guess I don't have a problem with it. I'm okay when you go for it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
it's the first quarter stuff that bothers me. It almost reeks of desperation. We're like, oh no, we got to go for it now, or else we'll never be down in this end zone again. It's just kind of desperate. It's like the guy who asked the hot girl out on a date and she agrees and he takes her to the fancy restaurant on the very first date. It's like, no, just a movie. Start slow, natural. Keep it natural. Don't scare them off. All right, headlines from from the NFC game. Oh, I got Sam Darnold passed a huge test. There was a lot of Darnold doubters.
Patrick, if you're Woody Johnson, owner of the New York Jets,
I
mean, how bad is it?
Wow, how about the Vikings too?
Yeah, the Vikings too. They basically said, without having seen anything of JJ McCarthy's, we're gonna go with JJ. Like they basically said, we know you only lost not even a handful, just a couple games for us last year, and we're just gonna go with JJ, who hasn't won. Just because I think maybe because of his followers, maybe because he gets more clicks. I don't know, but look at
he was their draft pick. He was their number one draft pick. So there is that. But yeah, look at this. You trade him to Seattle. He's in the Super Bowl. Great playoff run every single game. So efficient on offense in both these games against San Francisco, against the LA Rams. On the Rams side of things, I was a little worried that the Rams were going to come into the game as if they already won the Super Bowl against the Bears the week before, like they were too high off of that win. Right. And the Rams came ready to play. They really did. Seattle gave them that gut punch first drive touchdown. The Rams had to punt. They hold steady, get the ball back. They scored. They were ready for the fight today. I really like that Rams offering. And then I made this note, going into championship weekend, we're always like, okay, the defense is ranked number 2, but the offense is number 5. Who's going to be better? And then we do all these little comparisons, and then we always forget special teams. I don't mean who's going to be great on special teams, who's going to fuck up on special teams. Right. And sure enough, the Rams gave it a nice little fuck up on a punt return. And I was like, oh no, that might be too much, but don't worry, Seattle. We're going to give you a nice taunting penalty on 4th and 12 and give you Rams another set of downs and turn it into a touchdown right away. So I felt like those canceled each other out. I don't think they really swung the game. But now we go into the second half. The Rams are getting some momentum. Did you feel the Rams, in all honesty, could have pulled this off?
I thought so. They definitely had the chance, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had the chance. They could have.
Really, really close. And I wasn't even we're texting in our text group, and the Rams don't convert that fourth. Oh no, the Seattle gets that first down, And everyone's texting, oh, it's over. And I'm like, no, I'm waiting till this game is over. Did we not watch that Thursday night Rams-Seahawks game a month ago where we thought it was over? It's like, I need to see these Rams dead and in the grave before I say this game's over. And if they had a timeout or just that Puka catch is 1 foot closer to the end zone or to the sideline, they're getting one more play. They're getting a Hail Mary play from that. So, all right, well, let's go to the Rams goal line, their last offensive stand on the goal line. They go for it on 4th and 4. They're down 4. There's 5 minutes left. First of all, were you happy with them going for it, or were you championing a field goal at that point?
I want them. I mean, I thought they had to go for it. That 12th man is a real thing up there in Seattle, Pat. I think they got to go for it.
I was okay with them going for it. Defense was stopping Seattle. It wasn't as if it was like, all right, if we don't get it, that's it for us. It's like, if we don't get it, we could stop these guys and get it right back. So I was okay with that. It would have been interesting to see if they kicked it and then they have to stop them on D. And then after that, they would just need a field goal. Would have been interesting. So then we get to the Seattle Seahawks' last offensive possession. They need a couple first downs. Rams are using their timeouts. We have the Cooper Kupp 3rd down catch. It's marked a first down. That was pretty close, though. Pretty close spot decision. I thought they got it right, though. We have a Rams holding penalty. So I guess that's the penalty that I don't like that ends games. But it was legit. I didn't have a problem with that penalty. And then the Rams get it with 25 seconds left. There's a pass to Puka. They have 10 seconds now. Then the pass to Puka on the sidelines, but he lands in bounds. And again, the clock runs out. So that ends the game. Seattle is your champion, 31-27. A lot of offense from Seattle. A lot of offense from the Rams as well. Are you sad that Stafford is going out like this?
I mean, so I would imagine it's over. You know, I was hoping maybe part of me was like, he may get his John Elway moment, you know?
Right.
And that would have, I don't think anybody would have, you know, he endured a lot in Detroit, so I don't think anybody would have had a heartburn if he had that moment. But no, it wasn't meant to be for him this year, and I think he is going to move on, and I believe the Rams are going to be looking for another quarterback.
Yeah, I was sad in that same way too. It's like I would have been happy if Stafford had another run at it. That'd be pretty cool. And now it's decision time.
Are we going to have a Kyler Murray sighting?
Oh, you think Kyler Murray to the Rams is a possibility? Wow, talk about like going opposite types of quarterbacks. I thought Brady put it really well with Stafford. Is like, the guy's 38 years old. He's played so much football. He's in complete control of this offense. And it was really a beautiful thing to watch. If you like football, if you like offense, you've got these weapons in Puka, Ferguson, Parkinson is catching balls. Stafford, for as old as he is, he moves around pretty good. It doesn't seem like he's really limited, like we've said about other older, like remember older Roethlisberger and even Brady too, didn't really run. Stafford looks pretty good.
Yeah.
For 37. So I was impressed. He had that one first down run where I even wrote down, like, was that his Elway moment? Was that his Elway helicopter run where he just sells out for the first down?
Right.
Yeah, I was sad. I'm sad that Stafford didn't get to go to the Super Bowl, but the better team did win. I absolutely think that. Had a couple thoughts on Josh Allen, too, because, last week he loses to Denver, and then we get the news on Monday that head coach is fired. And they're like, what do we do with Josh Allen? And then I got the little notion that, like, this is one of those guys that might have success late in his career, a la a John Elway type. Because you remember John Elway got to 2 Super Bowls with Dan Reeves, and then they fired Dan Reeves.
Last 2 years of his career.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not ready to close the book on Josh Allen yet. And he plays like John Elway a little bit. Real strong, huge arm, maybe some tools around him. Like he's carrying this team to every single win. It's so I'm kind of excited for a late career Josh Allen at this point.
Ooh, that'd be something, Pat.
So yeah, I have that in the back of my head as well. The older quarterback, one last hurrah type of career. And I thought Stafford might have been that, although Stafford, won a Super Bowl like 5 years ago. So, all right, last thoughts on our championship weekend games. How did you watch the games? Any different?
Yeah, it was a little different. Well, we were snowed in today in the first part of the day.
Yeah, massive winter going through the whole country pretty much.
So that was, that was that. But no, then my daughter had a singing performance. So I was tuned in with after my daughter sang. I did have one headphone but I did make sure that there was not a headphone in me when my daughter was singing.
Oh, for the AFC game or NFC?
At this point, it's the end of the AFC game.
Gotcha. So you got the one headphone. Is this a radio feed or do you have it on an app going?
I'm streaming it on. I'm streaming it on my iPhone into YouTube TV. I have dimmed the screen to its lowest possible setting so I can still see right in front of me. And I do have my right earpiece in.
Oh, very nice setup. I like that. If I had something like that, I feel like, an earpiece, a way to watch games, like my childhood would have been 20% better. I could have watched sports in boring moments. I could have been a much more content child. Oh, good. So you got to multitask in a way.
Yeah.
And when you look around, because I imagine there's some other dads there, could you spy anyone else's setup doing something similar?
There were some dads that
It's got to be.
They're looking. I saw some eyes looking down, and they weren't asleep.
Any outbursts, kind of mid performance, where someone goes yes,
nothing like that.
Everybody kept it. Still on the sly. Nothing gave it away, huh?
Nothing at all.
You know what I miss? I was watching this on the sidelines today because I go back and watch old games during the week to try and prep myself and to try and give myself some sense of history going into each round. So I watched some old conference championship games. You know what players don't seem to do anymore? Remember quarterbacks used to go to the sideline and they'd get on the telephone and they'd talk up to the offensive quarter? I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
No, because I think they got the coaches down there with them. And so
I thought usually the offensive coordinators are up in the booth though.
Yeah, but they got some guys, they got some assistants down there because it seems like the quarterback just has the iPad.
Right, they go to the iPad.
It's a Surface, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't see. Then I thought they probably put on the headset and they talk. It's but wait, I don't really see that anymore either. So that I kind of miss from back in the day when they'd pick up what looked like an old rotary telephone receiver.
Right.
They would talk to people up in the booth. That was something from throwback years. So what a week. What a weekend of games, stories going into it, injuries, redemptions, heavyweight battle to wrap it up. And then I did like the trophy presentations now. Get the conference championship trophy on the field. So, and then New England, Seattle, rematch of Super Bowls, new blood in the players. I'm looking forward to these storylines going into it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a good story. It's an interesting matchup, don't you think?
Right. We're going to find about 12 different angles and storylines leading into this game.
And surprisingly, it's a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking going into this week, what matchup would I have liked?
I think the only matchup we hadn't seen it would have been Rams-Broncos.
Yeah, and once Bo Nix was injured, I just didn't want to see the Broncos. I was even if they win, that's just too much pressure on Stidham. I don't feel like we're going to get a good Super Bowl. So Broncos were the only one where I was I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl under these circumstances. But then again, we had all the history of what backup quarterbacks took a team to the Super Bowl. And I was hey, yeah, I like this history. And they showed me three that I thought I remembered. There was Doug Williams, Jeff Hostetler, and Nick Foles, which coincidentally all won the Super Bowl. However, they all played during the season. Stidham just starting that game. So I do like the history. And I know you're hoping for some sort of Super Bowl Eve arrest, some sort of run-in with the law, because I know you love the run-in with the laws with players before the Super Bowl. The famous Eugene Robinson soliciting a prostitute the night of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see who makes the headline.
Yeah, Super Bowl's in.
I think we should. I think Patrick, if we want, let's do a show next week and let's get some prop bets. I think we've said it in previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start putting some money. Who's going to be arrested?
Yeah, nice.
Are we talking? Who's going to be the strange 11th hour benching?
Right. That's a good one. Malcolm Butler.
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah. Well, my bets this week, I did parlays this week, and I took New England with the points 3.5 and the under. Won the under, lost the points. No money there. And then I took Seattle minus 2.5 and the over, and I won that bet. So not bad. All leading up to Super Bowl weekend. Got to bet it all, let it ride. Whatever's in the deposit bank in DraftKings, it's all going into bets.
Right.
So I'll be able to pick some fun bets there. All right, yeah. Stay tuned for the preview show for that, everybody. Hey, new subscribers and viewers this week too, by the way. All right, so moving on to trivia, Omar. I think you're gonna like this one.
Let's do it.
Oh, and then next week for the preview show, remember a couple weeks ago I did my top 5 most hated Super Bowls of the last 25 years? Okay. Preview show, we should both do our top 5 favorite Super Bowls.
All right, let's do it.
Of the last 25 years we can discuss. All right, time for trivia, everybody. We do it every week. New trivia every week. I give Omar a bunch of questions. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it totally upsets him. I think you're going to like this one, though. All right, I have a guess. I am going to guess your favorite San Francisco Super Bowl of all time was Super Bowl 23, San Francisco over Cincinnati Bengals, the Montana to John Taylor winning touchdown pass. Am I right?
You are absolutely right, with no doubt. Without a doubt, that is my favorite Super Bowl of all time.
All right. Yeah, I guess right. Okay, so this week's trivia is all about Super Bowl 23, San Francisco's win over the Cincinnati Bengals. That was held January 22nd, 1989. All right. How are you on this game? Do you think you know all the trivia knowledge?
It's my favorite. I think it's always been my favorite just because I remember seeing it as a kid. But obviously, as a kid, I really wasn't paying attention to like maybe certain names and or any stats. But let's see. Let's give it a try.
All right. Well, let me start you off with 2 easy ones. All right. I'll give you a couple easy ones just to warm you up. Question number 1. What city hosted Super Bowl 23?
What city hosted Super Bowl 23? The Niners and the Bengals. I am going to guess. I want to guess Miami.
All right, Miami, you got it. You're correct. All right, easy one. You got it right. So I'll give you another easy one to warm up. What celebrity did Joe Montana point out in the huddle on the last drive?
Easy. John Candy.
All right, you got it. In my research, John Candy and another celebrity were filming a Pepsi promotion Super Bowl weekend that also gave them tickets to the front row. All right, you got your daughter in there to help you on trivia now.
Let's see. Yeah, she's two heads are better than one.
All right, so if you go 5 for 5, do you think we might get a singing rendition from earlier this afternoon?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, maybe. Wow. Wow, the pressure's on. All right. Okay, now to the real questions. Question number 1. Who did San Francisco beat in the NFC Championship that year?
Give me 1 second. Ooh, Pat. I'm going to go with you stumped me on this one. I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
You are. Incorrect. They beat them in the divisional round.
Was it the Bears?
It was the Bears. They beat them in Chicago.
In Chicago. You're right. I should have known that.
I rewatched that game, and it was like 15 degrees, really cold. It was like the late game that day, so it ends at night. It looked miserable.
The Vikings beat the Niners the year before, and then eventually lost to the Redskins. I should have known that.
Yep. Okay, 0 for 1. All right, next question. How old was Joe Montana in this Super Bowl?
Oh, Pat, that's not fair.
This is your team.
No, 30.
Oh, hold on. He was 30.
Joe Montana was 32 years old.
Ooh, close.
32, you're close. Close. All right, here we go. You can still salvage it. You got three more to go. What Bengal ran back a kickoff for a touchdown in this game? All right, we have some consulting going on.
Stanford Jennings.
Oh, you got it. Wow. Okay, that one is the one I was worried about, but you got it. All right, 2 more to go. What San Francisco rookie linebacker got his first interception of his career in this game?
Charles Haley.
Incorrect.
Oh, is it Bill Romanowski?
It's Bill Romanowski. Yeah, Charles Haley's a defensive lineman.
You're right.
But I'm going to give you that one because you didn't actually answer it. Lulu, you missed it. All right, last question. Come on. Let's see if we can get 3. This might be the toughest one. What San Francisco offensive lineman ended his career after this game?
Randy Cross.
That is correct. You got it. 3 for 5. All right, not bad. Not bad. Good job on the trivia. Yeah, I went back and rewatched that Super Bowl. I don't know when the last time is you watched that Super Bowl. But
over.
It's a weird game to watch, a game that's, 30 years old compared to today's games, because the 49ers score that touchdown and they go up, 20 to
And I remember in those games is just the quickness of Joe Montana's passes. The yardage, those big yardage plays. It was all breakaway runs. It was a slant, and then Jerry Rice goes, or Roger Craig breaks one, and and he goes, picks up some huge yardage.
And also in that drive, like they start the drive with like 3 minutes to go. I think more than that. And they're like frantic. There's like 2 minutes. It's under the 2 minutes, and Joe Montana's like, time out.
And then you give Mahomes 32 seconds, and
right.
It's done.
And it there's that one pass where he throws it to Rice, and Rice just gets tripped up before he scores a touchdown. Today's NFL would have been like, dude, let him score. We got to get the ball back. So then the Bengals get the ball back with like 30 or 40 seconds left. I think they have a timeout. And San Francisco's on their sideline celebrating already. They're like, this game's over. We won. Right. Today's NFL will be like, oh my God, they are going to drive down. They got a timeout. They can work the field. Just crazy to watch a game viewed in a different way there. Jerry Rice, his helmet is off. He's smiling on the sideline. And Cincinnati hasn't even taken a snap yet. It's unbelievable. It's a great Super Bowl, though. I loved it. All right, good trivia. I was a little worried after that first one, but you got it. All right, that moves us on to the awards for championship weekend. All right, here we go. How are you feeling about the awards this weekend? Because there's only 2 games to really give out awards from.
I'm not gonna have, this is such a, we're dissecting these games. We're dissecting possessions and turnovers.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I like about it, though, is like I feel like I can really slice up these things because there's not that much games to really pay attention. It's just this game, this possession. And as soon as they're over, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to rewatch this on Monday to see what I missed. All right, so let's go right to it. Most memorable moment. I got 3 nominees. I got just the start of the playoff game in Seattle. I thought was pretty awesome with the fans getting loud. They're doing the national anthem. I thought that was pretty great. It's a great stadium. Nominee number 2, the final Seattle drive to run out the clock. There was strategy. Brady is pleading with Seattle to run the ball. Yeah. and they're calling pass plays. There's penalties. I thought there was a lot of intrigue there. And then my last nominee is, how about the NFC Championship presentation on your home field?
Oh yeah.
Great moment. Confetti is coming down. I couldn't. I really was looking for a moment from the AFC game, but I couldn't really find one. It
So
was a tough game.
I forgot who it was. I heard in the AFC game, the the John Elway would have presented the Broncos
Oh, really?
had they won. And who gave it to the Patriots?
Uh, yeah. Who was it? Oh God, I forgot.
It wasn't Gronk.
No, it wasn't Gronk. They said it. Oh, now I can't remember.
Pat.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah, Cam Chancellor gave the Seattle one. There was some good winter wear gear in that Denver game too. I think that Evan Washburn guy was on the sideline, and Tracy Wolfson for CBS were on the sideline, and they were wearing the big coats. And then it started snowing, and the guy, Evan Washburn's hair was completely gray. I was like, oh, he's got gray hair. But then they went to a shot of him from the first quarter, and he had brown hair. I was like, did you really have that much snow in your hair? My God, he had just for men snow hair. I did see that Jim Nantz went down onto the field for the trophy presentation. I thought that was cool. It's like, make you go outside in the elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching that.
Oh, it was Vinatieri. Sorry.
Vinatieri. Yeah. Wow. That's a good presenter. I was watching that 1989 Bears 49ers game, the conference championship. And John Madden is calling the game, and it's super cold. And then John Madden calls out any fans in a luxury box during the game. He's like, see, if you're in a luxury box, you're not even a fan. Don't even come to the game. I was like, wow, I don't think we'd ever hear that these days.
You know why? Because I think he was being serious. I don't think that was just us being smart. I think he really does feel that way, and I think maybe
Yeah.
John Madden, if anyone who's read up on John Madden knows he was an old school guy, and and I think he believed that ultimately the corporate greed posed a threat to the league, and maybe he was prophetic.
Yeah, and I don't think we had quite the concept of luxury boxes like we do today
Oh no.
as well. Like it was
Because yeah,
it was like the emperor sitting in a box with all the subjects on the stands.
But what you'll probably find nowadays, though, is that now you'll probably find luxury boxes full of people who aren't even interested in football.
Yeah.
It's more the show, it's more the pageantry, it's more the, I'm in an elite box, that the rest of the country could possibly see me,
Mhm.
since I'm here. So it's horseshit.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go. And then I was reading up on, there's an author, Chuck Klosterman, has a book coming out this week that's just entitled Football. And it's just the story of how football took over as the American pastime and how its history developed from the 60s and with the development of television and into unions and contracts. And like you said, corporatization of it. And there's only one way it could go, though. NFL is such a juggernaut that, of course, big money will follow. This is quite the producer of it. And then he had made an interesting point that, like, at some point, the NFL is going to decline. It's
Right.
just the law of averages and numbers. And what will that look like? We don't know. It doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. But at some point it will. That's just how it goes. Baseball declined.
Sure.
And NFL took over. Although, baseball didn't decline. It's just second fiddle to football.
Right.
So that was interesting. John Madden had an interesting, just off-the-cuff take of luxury boxes. You're not a real fan. Don't even come to the game. All right, what's your most memorable moment of the weekend?
Just the fight of a backup quarterback, trying to, putting the weight of a franchise on his on his back and on his shoulders, and he didn't do it, but he gave him a chance to win the game.
Yeah. Even though, I'm kind of split on that. They had the ball, but I don't feel like he gave him that chance ever really was real.
You may have that correct, Pat. Maybe it was not a real chance.
And also, though, but then back to shit on my own point, how can we really judge a guy whose second half was full of snow and no footing and against a good defense? Like, this is not on Stidham solely. The turnover in the first half was not the fourth down call. I can't blame that on him. But for that one drive, when he took them down and they threw the ball deep, There was close-ups of his smiling face. There was shots of his wife in the luxury box. And let me just tell you, the wife looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second. If we get Stidham in the Super Bowl, I could be okay with this. See what his wife is up to. How did they meet? Let's learn about his journey. It lasted for one drive. He was a shooting star, and it ran out there. But, man, that was a great deep ball he threw.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome. Like, you want to tell me Bo Nix would have nailed that pass better than Stidham? I'd be like, I don't know if you can get better than that pass. That was great. Unbelievable. Great 15 minutes for Jarrett Stidham there. Next award, the cringeworthy moment of the week. I got one nominee. This is from the New England game. Holland's receiver makes a play on the sideline, makes a catch on the sideline, and he takes out a bystander on the sideline. So I got, whenever an innocent bystander gets knocked down on the sideline by a player, is always kind of cringeworthy because they just topple like dominoes.
Right.
Yeah, and they can't get out of the way fast enough, and they're awkward. The player sometimes picks them up, sometimes they don't. So that was my cringeworthy moment, is innocent bystander gets knocked down by New England receiver Hollins on the sideline. What do you got for what gets your cringeworthy?
That penalty, what was it on the Seahawks that I thought that was that was you just can't make that, and luckily the Seahawks move on, but that would have been a backbreaker had
Yeah.
you know.
And my memory went back to that Cincinnati player against the Chiefs maybe 3 or 4 years ago where they actually got the stop, but he pushes Mahomes out of bounds, 2 feet out of bounds. And just from the moment he does it, everybody's like, oh no, you got the roughing the passer penalty. And you're just like, no, why did you do this? And I don't like the taunting penalty in general, but after watching, I was like, yeah, that guy was taunting too much. He should have been penalized. And then on the very next play, the Rams go deep on him and just burn his ass for a touchdown. And I just felt like that was justified. Whenever the flashy player gets burned, I always like that. I don't like flashy. So I felt like NFL justice was served in that instance. You got the penalty. You gave us the ball back. We burned your ass for a touchdown. Justice served.
Right.
And then, of course, the Rams dropped that dumb punt return. So I felt like the dumb plays evened out there.
Yeah, that hurt too. Mm-hmm.
The guy was doing the like middle school, like receiving the punt, but somehow his feet stopped working and he just fell backwards and kept trying. And he kept trying to catch the ball though. I was like, why are you trying to catch the ball if you're falling backwards? And they took his ass out. Did you notice they put a different punt returner in? Serves you right. Next award, Best Innovation Award. This one for me came from the AFC Championship game. It's snowing. It's getting pretty wet out there. The field's full of snow. Sean Payton made a scarf out of a Gatorade towel. You see that? They're tucking it in his collar and he had this nice little scarf. So I'm going to give you the Innovation Award, Sean Payton, making a scarf out of a Gatorade towel. It's kind of surprising me that they don't have something like that on the sideline already. They're like, here you go. We'll have to make something out of this towel. But I'll give it to him. It looked pretty good. It actually looked like a cool thing. Like, makes me think, why not just make Gatorade scarves? Have that on the sideline. So I gave that for my Innovation Award. What do you get? What do you give away for your Innovation Award this week?
The innovation, I just love the trophy presentation. The whole
You like it on the field, huh?
The Lamar Hunt and the Hallis. I think it takes on special meaning because, like I told you, I've been reading a lot, doing a lot of the audio books and some reading, a physical book reading about NFL history. And I just think, what Lamar Hunt and George Hallis meant to the league, and the fact that there's still a trophy named in their honor. That's amazing.
I also like following Lamar Hunt's great granddaughter on Instagram, who's like a supermodel, who's like a lower level CEO of the team. Good follow. Give that a follow, everybody.
I'm not too crazy about her, but go on.
Oh, come on. You're so bitter. So you're okay with the celebration on the field. You don't miss the locker room celebration at all? I always kind of liked the locker room. It felt like kind of intimate space that you got to go into as a fan with the camera. But if you're a hometown fan and you go to the game, you should get to be part of that celebration too. So I'm split. I'm split on it. Next award, the Hot Take Award, everybody's favorite. I kind of already said this. I don't think Bo Nix would have won this game, even with a healthy ankle. It's my hot take. I think England would have beat them with a healthy Bo Nix. That's my hot take for the week. What do you got? Seems like you kind of agreed with that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good hot take. But my hot take is going to be this Drake May Super Bowl is going to kick off the second Patriots dynasty.
Oh man, what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any emotions or reactions if we're going to have to go through another second Patriots dynasty?
Let's see. Let's see what happens.
You like it though?
But I will tell you why I have the Patriots in mind. Okay? Why I'm taking the Patriots this year. Mike Vrabel over Coach McDonald. That's it.
Just coaching alone.
Just coaching alone. It's going to be a Vrabel, not only as a player, he's already been there. He knows what these 2 weeks mean.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. I think Vrabel, as far as bringing a team that's prepared for any situation, I think he's shown he's done that this playoffs because his team has not doesn't look great on the field for any of these games, and yet they're prepared for anything and they still win. So I think that goes to him preparing his team. A lot of teams would have one of those Drake May fumbles from like the Houston game, and they would have lost some of their edge, and they didn't. They stuck to it. They buckled down. They got the ball right back. And in this game against the Broncos too, they were not doing anything on offense. They got their touchdown off a turnover, and they went into protect the lead mode. It worked. Okay, I like that. I like that. Right now, I have so many thoughts on New England right now. Just looking at their defense, because we like their defense. But who do they beat? Herbert, C.J. Stroud,
right?
Jared Stidham,
right?
All right, now I want you to go up against Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, that other guy, a great run. I'm a little nervous if I'm doing that math, Omar. I'm like, ooh, this is no like, okay, this is the next level. This is like 2.5 levels up.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, but then again, Vrabel. All right, your hot take is you like these Patriots. You're ready for a Patriots dynasty.
Another Patriots dynasty.
All right, let's keep going. Casting Couch Award. I think I made a pretty fun movie out of this week's offering of games. All right, so we had a lot of weather in the country this week, moving from east to west. We got it all the way moving its way into Denver by the afternoon. I thought maybe we'll see some rain in Seattle, but it didn't happen. So I thought of a movie where you have this rogue group of weather experts / engineers, but they're also kind of evil, and they engineer these man-made weather storms all over the world. And now another group of weather engineers has figured it out. It's like, haven't you noticed that the storms always happen at this part of the world, at these parts of the year? Right. Can't be a coincidence. So now they set out on a mission to expose these guys. And it's a kind of a cheesy action. It's like Day After Tomorrow meets Executive Decision. They're on planes and they're trying to get over the weather, trying to get in the eye of the storm so they can survive. And the name of my movie is called Cold Frost. Very on the nose. Maybe someone like a Paul Giamatti could be in it as one of the scientists. Give our movie a little bit of validity. Good actor in a cheesy movie. Still working on the star, though, because I think my star needs to be a B-lister.
Exactly.
Keep it B-list. Maybe like a Statham. Maybe Jason Statham could be in it. I'm working on it, but it's called Cold Frost. And it's about engineering weather. It's a conspiracy about weather patterns.
I like it, Pat.
Yeah, Cold Frost. Yeah, you'd watch that movie.
I'd
My,
watch it. I was so focused on watching games, I didn't even think of a movie for this week.
yeah, I knew you wouldn't come up with anything, so I came up with one for you.
Okay.
So I always, I do, some people say I do 98% of the work on this show. I mean, it's arguably I do 99,
You suck.
but I probably do 98.5. So I got a movie for you. This one is a family tearjerker.
Okay.
And since you watch a lot of games during your kids' activities with the earbud in your ear, this is a story about a dad who gets some form of cancer from Bluetooth earbuds.
Oh no, Pat, don't say that.
Well, it's a tearjerker. That's what I'm telling you. So now you've got to go all through the country looking for a doctor that can treat you. And you're looking for all these like homeopathic treatments. Then you're looking for radiation. Then there's a dude in Asia who's doing acupuncture. But good news is you survive. You survive at the end. This was like that movie. Do you remember a movie a long time ago? I think it was called Life. It was with Michael Keaton and Nicole Kidman.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's Oscar bait. This is an Oscar bait movie. Yeah, and it could just be called Wireless. It could be like a double entendre because you got the wireless headphone, but you're also wireless from life's like pressures because you're on a journey of self-discovery.
How about Dead Tooth?
Dead Tooth. Wow. Whoa. We just went from Oscar bait to Tubi.
Okay, I think that's what happened.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to still watch it. Dead Tooth. All right, good movies. Both by me. Next award. Best quote. I know you didn't get to listen to Romo. He had some good ones today. And Tom Brady was like a little kid in the booth today.
He was.
He's like, did you hear this part where Tom Brady starts singing? I think it was in the third quarter. Like Kevin Burkhardt is like, it's getting chippy out there, Tom. And Tom Brady goes, let's get physical. Yeah. I'm like, is Tom Brady singing Let's Get Physical? This is bonkers. And then let me see. What was Romo's quote that I had? Oh, I kind of said it. It's 3rd and 11. New England's play is they throw the ball away. And Romo says, they literally decide to throw the ball away. Wow. Tony Romo. And then Tom Brady had a quote after one of the penalties. Unless there's blood, don't call it. Tom Brady. Fun announcing weekend. I loved it. I love crazy Tom Brady. Did you have a best quote from the weekend?
I'm just gonna say we're talking about Madden. I saw that the preview for the Madden movie is going to be coming out with Nicolas Cage as John Madden. I think you're going to probably like it.
Yeah. When's that coming? I need to see that.
And it's an old quote from John Madden. The great coach once said, "Winning is a great deodorant." And I think that's awesome.
Wow. Hey, right guard or speed stick, you're leaving money on the table. Why not deodorant just called Winning? Or a scent that's called Winning? I'd buy that deodorant.
There you go.
Yeah, when's that movie coming out? I want to see that. That was really good. Next award, the Play Call Award. This one's going to get lost because Denver lost, but I thought the Denver punter was excellent today.
Okay.
He used the coffin corner twice in this game, and I think punters forgot there's such a thing as the coffin corner. He was really good. So I give the Denver punter the coffin corner kicks, the play call of the day.
Here, Christian Gonzalez, Colombian, making Colombia proud, sealing the win for the New England Patriots today.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, and he was the guy that got burned in the first quarter, right? The corner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he came back with the game-winning interception. All right, good play call. And last award of the week, it is Who Won the Week?
Well, the two teams left in to go to the Super Bowl. That's it.
Just the teams? Anyone specific?
Let's go Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft now his 11th Super Bowl since Jerry Jones's last Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Jerry Jones has just lost every single week in this playoffs, I think.
So let's just get it out the way now. Do you want to do the prediction this week, or who do you? Who do you think won the week?
Who won the week? It pains me to say it, but you know who won the week? all the insufferable Patriots fans. All the David Portnoys, the Bill Simmonses, my new favorite internet sports guy, the @Hogdale kid, all the like angry Boston people. It pains me to say it, but you guys won the week. Now you can go online and say I told you so, and it's totally justified because you did win on the road. It's going to be a long 2 weeks of listening to these knuckleheads.
It is.
But the winner's argument is always right. So fine, take your week, annoy me. I'll still watch all your Instagram videos, and you better hope you win the Super Bowl. But all right, a little mini pick. Let's do a pick, just your reactionary pick from these games, and then we can drill down on it next week on the preview show.
Okay.
All right. So my thought is early lines. Let me look it up in case I want to start betting. All right. Early lines for the Super Bowl because they're already up. All right. Seahawks -4.5.
Ooh.
Over under 46.5. Let me quick look at some TD scores.
Give me Patriots to cover and the under.
Patriots to cover and the under. Really? Let me see here. 46 and a Patriots to cover and the under. Shoot. Neutral site. Patriots got 2 weeks to figure out some offense. I'm going to go Seahawks to cover and the over.
Oh, wow.
I just don't know where this offense is going to come from the Patriots. I know I've said that for like a month straight now, but this Seattle D is really good. They put the ball on you really quick. They get the ball back on offense. They got a million. I don't know how New England is going to figure this out right now. It's my thought. All right. Well, I've got some money in the bank that I'm going to put some bets on. It's all riding next week, 2 weeks. Winners, over-unders, TD scores. I saw somebody had a bet that Bobo guy from Seattle who had like 3 catches all year had a crazy odds for scoring a touchdown, and this guy put $1,000 on it. He scored a touchdown, got $36,000. God, it's stuff like that makes me think like I need to bet more money.
Here's another guy that won the week, Shaheed for the Seahawks. That guy was a trade deadline move.
Oh, that's always a good winner. The trade deadline guys to get on a Super Bowl team.
Oh, this may be that story, man. He's a difference maker.
Oh, good storyline. Good week off storyline. Yeah. All right. Can I get your thoughts on the Raiders real quick?
I'm hearing Pat Mike McDaniel is still in the running.
I heard that too, and I tried to block that out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So coach wise, we still haven't really come any closer. Are you with me on the draft? All eyes on Mendoza?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I'm telling you, there's no way the Raiders are trading away that pick.
I hope not. And like all this Lamar talk, and I'm like, we don't want Lamar.
We want Patrick. I think Latinos in Raider Nation have been waiting for this pick since Jim Plunkett's last game.
Yeah, we could have another Jim Plunkett type of guy. Totally. I'm with you 100% on that storyline. This guy looks like an angel. There's like nothing wrong with him.
Right.
So I love it. I want this guy as our first pick. I don't want any Lamar talk. I don't want any Joe Burrow talk. I want Mendoza.
Last Monday when Fernando Mendoza went for that touchdown run to basically cap the national championship, I said to myself, sitting in a Hooters in, where was I? Odessa, Texas. I said,
live show coming up.
But I said, that's an Al Davis kind of play right there.
That was just like sealed the deal. I think Raiders fans passed out on their couches in that play. I know like all my Raiders online friends, I know a lot of them that went to that game just to watch him and then just are like wearing their Raiders gear at a college game, cheering on Mendoza. Like, I can't wait. I'm already like, what's the soonest I can buy his jersey? Because I'm in. Like the ads came up for Seattle winning the conference championship. You can buy the t-shirts and hats. I'm like, if the Raiders ever won anything, God help me, all the shit I would buy.
I don't believe Plunkett did Plunkett. He didn't start with the Raiders though, right?
Started with New England.
New England. That's right.
Yeah.
So I think let's just cut to the chase. Raiders, just get Plunkett now.
Get Plunkett. Get our 2.0 Plunkett. Yeah, and I'm already thinking like, what number would he wear? What head coach? If we get,
can he do 15 for the Raiders? Yeah, why? I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. I know 12 isn't even retired because Rich Gannon wore it after Stabler. So everything's on the table. I want to buy a home jersey. I want to buy an away jersey.
Well, let's see. Here's how about this. According to AI, here's the thing, Pat. Don't we talk about that? We can't trust everything, but the Las Vegas Raiders do not officially retire jersey numbers, a tradition they've maintained despite having many legendary players, instead honoring them through legacy rather than official retirement, while numbers like number 12, 00, 24, and 32 are strongly associated with Raider icons.
Oh, yeah, 32 also. Why did Raiders do that? That seems weird. Well, we're Raiders. We do crazy shit.
Al Davis philosophy. Here it is, right here. And I do remember from that book, that last audiobook, no player is bigger than the team.
Wow. Interesting. So he could wear 12.
Yeah. But I do think Jim Otto's 00 number is also retired from the rest of the league, not because of Jim Otto. I think it's just the rule you can't have 00.
Oh, is that right? So you can have the single 0. Weird. All right, a little bit of history there. Interesting. All right, everybody, we're 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl. We have our preview show next week. We're going to talk about our Super Bowl histories. But this week, we did trivia. We talked about the games, talked about betting, talked about some hopes and dreams, talked about Omar's favorite Super Bowl of his entire life. So, for me, Patrick Ramirez, for Omar Carmona, my co-host, for you, the new listeners, go to my channel. There's a new stand-up video up there. Go check it out, and we will see you next week for the Super Bowl preview show. All right, Omar, good night. Get some rest.